And here we are talking about the NBA Finals, and we're kind of back to where we all started, right? With that Golden State dynasty. They had about a 2-year hiatus where things weren't very good, but there's a lot of injuries, right? Now the band's back together, they're healthy again, and Golden State is one win away from the NBA Finals. They've got the Dallas Mavericks on the ropes. They're up 3-0, and it looks like G State will be in the NBA Finals again.
Man, did Steph Curry make me eat it? Remember when I was saying on Thursday that Steph hasn't really shown up in playoff games? He has shown up, obviously, right? Steph is doing his thing one. And then another thing, I saw that he made it up on a list of one of the most 30-point games in playoff history.
Yeah.
He's like up there with Jordan. And I'm like, okay, maybe he does do well in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what? Steph Curry, obviously, do you remember, let's go in the Wayback Machine when he was at Davidson, and he carried Davidson through March Madness, through the NCAA tournament. So you almost saw the writing on the wall, right, from a long ways, that he could, when he gets hot, he could carry a team through a postseason run, and he's done it before, and it sure looks like he's doing it again. He's a model of consistency, man. You kind of just know what you're going to get with him. He doesn't have a lot of off nights. And now you got Klay Thompson. He's not 100%, but he's still pretty good. You got Draymond Green. He's going to play defense. And Patrick, I'll be honest, man, the Warriors have a couple guys on their team that I actually had to look up, like these Jordan Pooles, Looney, like these guys who are pretty good players. They're not household names, but they're pretty good, and they make a good overall team.
Boy, you see the kind of the nucleus that they have with those really good players, but then you have Steve Kerr bringing in another platoon of these young kids. And I mean, they would have had Gary Payton too if he wouldn't have broke his arm or whatever. He's another really good young player. And man, you are right about Steph Curry now that I think about it, because I only know about Davidson because of him.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man.
We wouldn't even know about that school if it weren't for Steph Curry, but he has stepped up. I thought Luka and them were going to battle back for sure, but it looks tough, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them coming back, especially Golden State winning on the road 109-100 in Game 3 last night in Dallas, going on the road and doing that. So now they're 1 win away. So if they, assume they sweep Dallas or just get one more win, they'll go to the NBA Finals for the 6th time in 8 years. And those 2 seasons that they missed, it was because of injuries. So literally, they probably could have made it to the NBA Finals 8 straight years with this core.
They are getting Draymond Green to get technicals. Maybe they can go that route again to where he can get DQ'd and then he's not in the series. Other than that, they just look really tough, like you said.
Yeah, they sure do. So it's almost like a foregone conclusion. Golden State will be in the NBA Finals. But who will they play? Who's going to come out of the East? Right now, Miami is up on Boston 2-1, but I believe that series is probably far from being over. I think that's going to be another drag down slobber knocker. It could go all 7. Both teams have had their moments where they look like they might be the better team, but I just feel like that series is going to drag on for a little bit.
I'm really starting to feel, I know I'm a Jimmy Butler fan, I will get that out first, but I'm starting to feel Miami could start taking this over only because, did you see Smart? He went down and he had an ankle injury and they carried him off the court. He did battle back. He does seem like that psycho guy to where you cannot keep him off the court, but he does seem like he has a bum wheel now, and he doesn't have that much size. I think he needs to be kind of healthy for him to do his edgy-like type of stuff. I think it's going to be Miami and Golden State. That looks like that's what's starting to form in our crystal ball, Pep.
Yeah. You know what? Don't count, guys like that, don't count them out like Marcus Smart, how important they are to a team. Like we look at, like points per game and assists, and those are your best players. But Marcus Smart, he might not be your top scorer. He doesn't have the most rebounds. He doesn't have the most assists, but he plays great defense. He brings some attitude, right, to the floor. Like you can't count out those guys. So if Boston is missing him, that is a big blow, man. You bring up a great point. That is a big blow for the Celtics if he can't go or if he's not 100%.
You're right, though, about the intangibles. It's like the Dennis Rodman thing. He does the dirty work. He cleans it up. He gives them attitude. I mean, that's kind of my argument a little bit for Jimmy Butler. I think he gets kind of a bad rap about being a star because he does the dirty work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he said last year. It was really funny when he finally said, people talk about me like I don't know how to play basketball. This is ridiculous. And I was like, he's right. He just scored 47 or whatever the other night.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler can certainly score, but he's an overall, like Kawhi Leonard, an overall player, right? He's going to play defense, he's going to hustle, he's going to do a lot of those things that don't show up in the stats. I kind of like Draymond Green, man. Draymond Green does a lot of things well. Like he's not going to be Golden State's 3rd or maybe even 4th leading scorer in a game, but you need him on the floor. He's one of those guys.
You
So
need that guy doing those things.
yeah. All right, so that's NBA playoff talk. Real quick, an update on the Lakers head coaching search. They still don't have a head coach. Who's it going to be? Well, if you listen to reports, it sounds like they're down to 3 guys. Who's going to be
Really?
the head coach of the Lakers? And here's the short list, Patrick. It's current Milwaukee Bucks assistant Darvin Ham. We've heard his name a little bit before, but now
Right.
former Portland Trailblazers head coach Terry Stotts. He's rumored to be a finalist, and former Brooklyn Nets head coach and current Warriors assistant Kyle Atkinson. So if you listen to these reports, the Lakers are down to those 3 guys. And notice I did not say Mark Jackson.
No, you'd think Mark Jackson. Do you think he's being smart and he's like, look, I got a great cushy gig here on television. It's kind of what people really said that Gruden should have done is he should have just stayed in his comfortable spot at Monday Night Football, get paid a ton of money just to have fun and give his opinion. That seems to be the position that he's in.
Yeah, you have to really, really not only be an NBA head coach, but be the Lakers head coach right now. That you're not, jumping into an easy situation. Like it's going to be tough. So if you're making probably the same amount of money, or at least in the same ballpark, and you're having fun and calling these games on TV, like why would you? It would be like a pride thing. Like, hey, I want to say I'm the head coach of the LA Lakers. Like that's the only thing I can kind of wrap my brain around of why someone would take on that responsibility of trying to build up the Lakers once again. Especially when the money and everything is just as good on the broadcasting side.
Yeah, very true. Sidebar, am a huge fan of Terry Stotts, longtime assistant for the Seattle Supersonics. People, there used to be a team in Seattle. Anyhow, we'll see how he does.
Yeah, so he's rumored to be one of those 3 finalists. So we'll see if the Lakers are going to do something anytime soon. Now, Patrick, over the weekend, we had the conclusion of the PGA Championship. We did not see Tiger Woods on Sunday. He finally bowed out after 3 rounds. He did make the cut, but he bowed out. He was just hurting. He posted a 79 on Saturday, which is a really high score if you're a casual golf fan. Just was not the same Tiger. So we did not see him on Sunday as the tournament went to a playoff, and it was Justin Thompson outlasting Will Zalatoris in a 3-hole playoff to win the PGA Championship.
I mean, dare I say this? I think the PGA Tour needs to give Tiger a raise because he obviously came back early to pump up the tour a little bit.
Yeah.
He was hobbling like crazy. He's hurting badly, and they should not be allowing him to do that. He's not going to stop himself.
No, he's not. He's going to go out there. He's going to give it everything he has, even if he's remotely healthy enough to do something like that. Tiger Woods, his name almost is like Babe Ruth to me. It's almost in this Herculean atmosphere where it sounds like almost like folklore, like Paul Bunyan or something like that. You know what I mean? Like we always expect him to be able to do it, and he tried, man. He made the cut. He made it into the weekend. He played on Saturday, but like his body was just not holding up, and I just feel like we expect him to not only play, but we expect him to compete. We want to see his name towards the top of the leaderboard, and I think once he knew after Saturday, like, whoa, this is, I'm not playing how I expect myself to play, and my body's just not allowing me to do it. Like I gotta step back. And for the other golfers, maybe that was good. Maybe you shine the spotlight on some of these other guys like Zalatoris and Justin Thomas. But to not see Tiger on Sunday was it's kind of sad as a golf fan.
I say good for him though. Take some time, rehab, get yourself healthy.
Yeah. When we see Tiger again, I want to see him at 100% or close to 100%. So you feel like he's going to be there on Sunday, and you feel like, hey, he's got a real shot to have his name at the top of the leaderboard, and I think that's what gets golf fans excited, especially on the final day of a major like that, the PGA Championship. So
no doubt they're using him.
Yeah. And finally, Patrick, hey man, if you're an Angels fan, I know this is exciting times right now. The pitching is there, but how about a game when Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani go long, and they both homered yesterday in a 4-1 win against the A's. Ohtani and Mike Trout looking like MVP candidates, man. Mike Trout is hitting the ball better than ever before, and Shohei Ohtani's doing his thing. I know we keep talking about the Angels and being a complete team, but if you were at the Big A yesterday and saw Ohtani and Trout homer in the same game, I just feel like that's probably a special moment. Those are 2 of the best in the game right now.
You can kind of see what these Angels are capable of doing, and you don't want to get too excited or too cocky because, look at me and my Seattle Mariners. We were supposed to be so good, but here we go again after 20 years. not playing as well. But these Angels, so far, so good.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. It's hard to predict sometimes. Even if you have a mountain of talent on your team, like you still have to go out there. You still have to pitch. You still have to do, have a bullpen. All these sorts of things that make a great baseball team. And it's easier said than done. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in baseball who are continuing to struggle. And the Angels, maybe they finally turned a corner this season.
Yeah, let's do this Freeway Series. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, you can get my stuff at Inland Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. My stuff is also on the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
Thanks, Pep.